Yes, it's the tile system you will learn. And now many know, the China used silver and copper cash, silver and copper. And perhaps some of you already know, China never mint silver coin. In spite of that, silver is used. That is, Chinese use silver by weight. So, perhaps you imagine, Chinese use silver in the form of ingot or bar, etc. So, the ingot or bar, perhaps they value the universal physical intrinsic contents. So, if anyone in China make transaction in terms of silver by weight, so it must be done quite universal measure. It is not true at all. And even Chinese scholar or Japanese scholar now don't understand the difference between silver in general and silver by weight, silver liang. And silver liang actually two categories. One is real liang. That is just a weight and fineness, combination of weight and fineness. It is different by port and port and city by city, and even in collecting tax, item by item, different liang exists. But anyway, in spite of that, it is physical unit. It is real. But it is not unit merchant use. They have another element that is dui. They have particular discount rate. And it makes detach real liang from the unit the merchant use. That suggests actually it's imaginary. And just very brief, the concise Chinese monetary history. Because it depends on always mainly very bulky, not transportable copper cash. That is why they need another complementary tool for transportable, for intelligent regional transaction and collecting tax and brought to capital or military base. And so the copper cash already continue to be only the coin officially supplied. Required for interregional transaction or the transfer to capital. The gold in Western Han, but the gold soon disappeared. And a long time, silk served as money for interregional trade or collecting taxes and transfer to capital. And later, paper money appeared, and yuan mostly depend on paper money. And later, Mian Qing, the paper money disappeared and depend on copper cash and silver. And later, 19th century, copper cash, silver by weight, in part, the silver died. And behind the scene, always grain worked as the money. And the point is, long time, silk worked as money. And why? How silver, in this history, silver gradually substitute silk. So there's no imagination of Chinese bureaucrat. Coin must be supplied, the copper coin. And silver is just a substitute for silk. Why this should mean? And only this period, in the 16th century, the Japanese silver and the Peruvian silver and Mexican silver, they affluently pour into southern region of China. Then the people using scissors and cut bar, very minute, And even the trade of rice or orange or bean cake, they use. A bureaucrat in early 19th century made this respect. In his use, that means late 18th century, in his local area, people still use scissors to make transaction of the daily markets. But this sort of the phenomena disappeared. So this is a very limited the region and period. So mainly daily transaction was dominated by copper cash. And silver was used for mainly intelligent settlement and governmental collecting tax. And so this way. And this is what I say. And this is possessed by Bank of Japan. This is typical the Chinese in size C. And look, bottom side, full of hole. This is a way proving this is genuine silver, not containing copper or any other alloy. And this must be 50 yuan. 50 yuan. This is typical. This Chinese size C, and this is for maritime custom. This must have been most unified. But actually, even these maritime ingots actually have difference port by port. And that is why very few scholars, they try to the investigation with Chinese merchant account book, but I did, and this is as far as I know, only account book we can see the reality of how merchant use the silver size C, and this is the Tontai it's the name of the grocery store. They have a lot of account book, item by item. But among it, they have, and this is the Churu India Jan. It's the account for the silver ingot. And there are three categories of silver ingot, bao in, yengai in, bai in. But this is most important, 50 yuan. Sorry. Like this is bowing. And important is, and as far as this bowing is concerned, their number, for example, today is 17th May, the 17th May, this is first ingot, second ingot, three ingot, so their number. This is first ingot in the 15th, 17th May, second one, third one, and it must be 50 yuan, but there is difference of the weight and fineness. That's why each silver ingot has premium or discount, not exactly 50 yuan. And we can trace when the particular silver ingot paid out, exit, it also recorded this was the third ingot of 17th May. So we can trace each ingot, how long stay. So ingot is not fungible. And actually we can confirm, ingot in and out circulated, but not remain longer than 3 months, but not so quickly moved. The point is actually how frequently they used. And so I move to another account book. I take from Shanghai Archives. This is the account book of the Far Traders Association. And there are three categories of money appeared. The silver dollar, the copper cash, and the silver yuan tile. In the case of silver dollar, it's quite easy to understand. This is Indian Mexican dollar. This day, this association accepted $35 Mexican dollar from this Hontai merchant, and also pay $25 to Hontai, $7 to another the gender, etc., etc. And finally, the number of amount of the Mexican dollar from 35 to 58 to 60 increased to 2. And so we can do the same with copper cash. It's quite common to our common sense, but this is the item of silver tile. It's a Juba is Shanghai tile. It is the inter from the Shanghai merchant, very minute number, 60.6905, etc. On the same day, same precise amount appeared, the payment side, this. And this merchant, the other merchant, the same precise number. I have found 3 cases in this account book with the transaction in terms of silver yuan. The same. All the day, all the pattern, on the same day, a merchant, another merchant, precise same amount just move. So we cannot find actually, physically, silver ingot moved or not. And we have some description. Particularly Shanghai exchange or merchant in ingot, etc. Many cases, merchant don't move, physically pay silver ingot. They just put account book. And at the end of season, financial season, they make some settlement. But actually, silver not move, just account book. So we can perhaps confirm this is a case. So we can say 2 things. Silver ingots, not fungible. And actually, of course, depends on the situation, but that many cases actually don't move. Actually just done accountable between merchant who share the unit. But the point is, the Shanghai Yuan is very popular, the unit account. That's why many share. But not always, even in Shanghai or even other more smaller county town, the merchant for rice use their own unit of account. Another also the silk merchant other use. So they cluster by cluster merchant could have their own imaginary unit. And that is why, for example, the bill of exchange rate for the all are made in terms of silver tile, for example, Shanghai and Hanko, it appears to be very modern westernized port, but main bill of exchange rate made in terms of silver yuan. But silver yuan is different port by port, and Hanko and Shanghai. So, if always silver ingot move and make settlement, the bill of exchange rate between Shanghai and Hanko must be within transporting the point. But actually, often bill of exchange rate beyond transporting point appeared. That suggests actually physical movement, physical settlement by silver is not so important. And so, and this is quite a typical case. So that is why they keep unit of account, even particular silver disappear. And so one thing is what unit of account they use. Another thing is actually what they pay. The currency and unit of account always often detached in Chinese activity, even government collecting tax. And this is a case, it's 1920, it's very modern. At paper money issued by provincial government of Manchuria. But the Manchuria is very dependent on Shanghai's economy, and the bill of exchange to Shanghai is very important. This note made particularly used to make bill of exchange to Shanghai. But the Shanghai transaction must be done in Shanghai Tire. And so merchant in Manchuria, they made payment to Shanghai. They use this in terms of Shanghai Tire, but actually they use this paper note, the paper note in terms of the silver dollar. So this is a typical case, the detachment between immutable account and the currencies. And, okay, so silver tile actually, sometimes they use the physical silver ingot, but mostly it was shared by merchants, the making transaction always the book. And so, okay, and so far I talk about the silver tile. But the imaginary aspect is not limited just by Chinese pattern, or not limited by silver tile. Even using silver dollar coinage, imaginary aspect always accompany. This is a remark by Camera, a famous money doctor. And Camera is advocate of the gold standard system to Latin America and Asian nation, but he knew also very reality. This is a description on Philippines after the colonized by US, and that suggests a lot of plural the dollar exists. The interest content differ, but they treated same face value. So the people valued coinage regardless silver content. The another part he observed, it's also same silver coinage, the value differently by season. So seasonal demand, they appreciate particular coinage and depreciate another. So it's not just a silver by weight. Even silver by count have this sort of imaginary aspect, but this transaction shared particular trade circuit, not always shared another circuit. And so even Chinese, and gradually began saying that, our country is silver standard, because even copper cash is circulate in the bottom. But eventually, our country have collected tax in terms of silver. And that's why, and anyway, we accept any money, we have any trust in the item. But this item must be backed something. If we search for anything backing currency, it must be silver. That's why, we are in the country of silver standard. Even Chinese began to sort in the 1920s, 30s. But actually, the transaction made by merchant was already still dependent on such an imaginary unit. In 1933, officially, silver tile system was abandoned. In 1935, officially, paper money issued by government substitute all silver. But still, silver tile system in Shanghai continue even under Japanese occupation. So this is a reality, but also some convenient concept always become popular. And this is the typical pattern. 1933, the United States under the Franklin Roosevelt, the policy to enhance the Western states' economy, they purchase silver by governmental money. This governmental purchase, the seriously increased the global silver price, and eventually large amount of silver absorbed from China, etc. It is true. And that's why Milton Friedman made a paper in 1992, because he disliked Franklin Roosevelt. It's quite a good excuse for him to criticize. That is why the large amount of silver absorbed by the United States from China and caused deflation in China. Then they make the economy panic. Then consequently, China became a communist country. So Franklin Roosevelt made China communism. Of course, a lot of mistakes. But is some point, this sort of argument persuade some leaders, because not just the author, also leaders share belief, or if I may say, misbelief, transaction should be dependent on any material, any bag is necessary. So if silver bagged, eventually all transaction and silver absorbed suddenly, transaction must be in panic. But actually, of course, it affects something got bad direction, 1933 to 1934. But already we show the local market also generate always another means of payment if any particular coinage disappears. That is a pattern of Chinese economy. So, and if I may say, this sort of understanding depending on very substitutive idea. So, as I said, what is detachment of the unit of account and currencies appeared all aspects, all transactions, even collecting tax in China. And what someone say, it's very full of sound to be full of transaction cost, attachment of unit and the currency like a standard formula, sound to be bring certainty. But I always say certainty does not always bring stability. If very attached system cause certain scarcity of liquidity in local market, it brings rather disaster. So rather, the detachment system may bring more stable institute. But anyway, I have to say, don't mold reality into convenient concept, like a China must be silver standard. That's all.